February 2022 in the growing metropolis of Brookhaven. The groundhog had not seen his shadow, which, according to legend, indicates an early spring. Though temperatures were still cold, most people were eagerly anticipating warmer weather. So much so that a Tuesday morning rainstorm seemed like no big deal to the people of Brookhaven. Children went off to school, adults went to work, and people embarked on vacations and business trips. By all accounts, it was a normal day, until it wasn't.
I'm a bus driver for Brookhaven School. I dropped the kids off at 8 a.m. They all had umbrellas, just going off for a typical day. Then I went to Brooks Diner for my morning coffee. That's when I got the call.
Though temperatures were initially expected to rise well above freezing that day, the weather system had shifted sharply and unexpectedly, sending temperatures plummeting. The school decided to dismiss early.
I had to take the kids back home.
Nearby at the local homeless shelter, Vickie Jones was learning of the unfavorable weather conditions.
It was already cold, but it was about to get below freezing. And while we're set up to provide food and shelter to the homeless, so many choose to stay on the streets, in homeless encampments, alleys, park benches. I just couldn't let that happen. In those temperatures, they could die.
And at the motel by the airport, motel manager Toby Weiss was about to have his daily routine interrupted.
It's really not busy at the motel. I usually have a lot of downtime, but not that day.
Right next door, as a dangerous layer of ice formed over Brookhaven, the Brookhaven airport was experiencing a record number of cancellations. With its runway unusable and all flights grounded, stranded passengers flocked to the small one-story motel.
It was overwhelming. I wasn't sure we could handle it.
Coming up,
I wasn't sure we would make it. They could die!
It was chaos. Pure chaos.
looking for your forever home in Brookhaven? Won't you consider Brookhaven Cemetery? There are several choice plots available, just waiting for you. Brookhaven Cemetery is conveniently located near the hospital. It's everything you could want and more. Buy your plot at Brookhaven Cemetery today. Take it from me, I'm not just a spokesperson. I'm a resident. Have you or someone you know been injured at the Brookhaven water slide? Let me get you the compensation you deserve. If you need someone to fight for justice for your pain and suffering, I'm your guy. I'm Gilbert T. Wolfpack, attorney at law. Call me, Brookhaven. Standing water from a 24-hour torrential downpour in Brookhaven had begun to freeze as temperatures fell a staggering 20 degrees. A thick, slippery layer of ice covered the entire town. As the unexpected freeze draped the town, Brookhaven residents reacted. Bus driver Elsie Owens traveled with a busload of school children.
It was slippery. At least an inch of solid ice.
Elsie had trouble maintaining control of the large, heavy vehicle on the icy streets.
It was scary. I was gripping the wheel as tight as I could. The kids were scared, I was scared. I wasn't sure we would make it.
Meanwhile, homeless shelter volunteer Vickie was walking the streets looking for homeless people and urging them to come to the shelter.
Many were reluctant, and I was upset. I knew it was up to me to save them from freezing to death.
At the fully booked motel, the staff was overrun by requests from their guests.
Guests were calling the front desk non-stop for maid services, for room service, general complaints. And then my maid quit. It was more than we could handle.
Coming up, a school bus out of control, freezing homeless, and a motel in mayhem. Will the Brookhaven ice storm destroy the whole town?
Looking for an amazing destination for a summer getaway? Look no further than Brookhaven's own Lake Madison. With spectacular views of the newly formed Paradise Falls, access to hot springs, a luxury yacht, gorgeous rental house full of amenities, and the clear blue lake waters, it truly has something for everyone. And the beautiful setting is even more stunning at sunset. Book your Lake Madison vacation today. Call Brookhaven Travel Agency.
Just because the 4th of July is over doesn't mean you have to quit celebrating. Come to Big Ed's Fireworks, where we have the highest quality fireworks in Brookhaven. And this week only, all our fireworks are buy 100, get one free. So come on by and stock up today. Big Ed's Fireworks, the real deal. Party on, Brookhaven.
As ice enveloped the town of Brookhaven, residents did their best to adapt to the hazardous conditions. Bus driver Elsie Owens struggled to control the massive school bus full of kids.
I just remembered everything I learned in driver's ed.
Relying on her training, one by one, Elsie carefully and skillfully traveled from house to house, unloading each child home safe and sound.
I got those kids home safely.
Desperate to save the homeless from the cold, volunteer Vickie Jones set out to bring them into the shelter.
By some miracle, every last homeless person in Brookhaven came to the homeless shelter that day. I saved them all.
And back at the motel, manager Toby Weiss went above and beyond to take care of his guests.
The maid quit, but the guests kept calling. There was only one thing to do. Jump in and take care of the guests myself. So, that's what I did.
With sheer determination, despite the obstacles they faced, all three stories had a happy ending. Eventually, the ice did melt and spring did arrive, but no one in Brookhaven would ever forget the events of Brookhaven on ice.
For more Play All Day videos, check out our channel. We have hundreds of role plays, challenges, and more. You can help us out by liking our videos, leaving comments, and telling everyone you know to watch Play All Day. See you next time.